Hello, hello, Ederson Oliveira here for the DNN store. Today I have with me Salar Golestanian. He is the founder of Salaro, a web design and development agency that has been creating themes and modules for DNN since 2004. Salar, welcome.
Thank you very much. Honor to speak with you. I've heard a lot about you, so great. Go ahead.
I hope that they have lied well and they shed some good light on what you heard from me.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I'm one of the Europeans. I normally go to all the events in Europe, DNN Connect, and I was always sort of thinking, how come Anderson hasn't been around in Europe? Maybe next time you should come down.
I haven't gone on the last one just because I thought there would be an event in the US as well, but they didn't run any event in the US, so I mean I missed that one. But I'm looking forward to drop by to Europe with family as well.
Great. Next year there should be one.
Perfect. So I'm gonna get ready for that.
I've heard in the various places that it might be in Germany. So
good. Okay, so the topic here, the idea of this conversation is to dig deeper into your organization, what you have done with DNN, what you're doing with DNN. But there are some basic questions that I usually ask for guests here. And the first one is really, where are you based? And who's on your team?
Okay. Basically, I've been doing software and marketing for about 25 years, but it is not the only thing I do. I also run a couple other companies. One is mainly the investment banking stuff, doing oil and gas and mining, and a couple others. But to be honest, IT and Solaro is probably where I'm most comfortable in. And I've been doing it for quite a long time as far as DNN is concerned. Probably one of the early guys that went into it. This is, I think, 2003 because I jumped from iBuySpy to the first DNN that Sean put together. And ever since, I've been mostly using DNN. And even now, if for a startup somebody says, build me a site, DNN is definitely my first choice. I have tried others, but I seem to always come back to DNN. I do have a team of about 12 developers, designers, content editors. The team is in Pondicherry, south of India. It's probably about 3 hours drive from Chennai. And they've been with me for the past 10 years, really. And what's nice about my team is that in India, if you set up a outsourcing IT company, the rate of head change is pretty fast. You're very unlikely to keep anyone for more than a year. But I'm proud to say that probably the six of them, the managers, the main guys, have been with me for 10 years, basically. They're the early developers which I employed there. So I basically, rely on them to do most of the stuff now. I haven't coded for nearly 5 years. I rely on them doing it. My capacity is more project management, customer relation. I still have an eye for design, so they always pass it by me. Somebody wants a sleek design. I normally have a say in how things should be done. We also moved on a bit, not necessarily out of the DNN world, but we've also embraced iOS and Android app development platform. I do have 2 of the developers being able to do both Android and iOS stuff. I've also got a great team outside my organization, but they work with me to develop much more advanced apps. One of the things which we have tried to always do, whatever I do outside DNN, somehow I tend to find some bridge between the two platforms. These days one can't dismiss the mobile, so it's an entity on its own, but it is my intention always to build the bridges between the two. And whilst maybe 5 years ago business was totally based on selling skins, small little modules, but the world has changed drastically. So it's nowadays a lot less modules and little modules, selling little modules, and it's much more building, vertical market websites for clients that come to me.
Perfect. Okay. So, but just make it clear, you are based in the UK.
Yep, I am in the UK, and the rest of the team are in India.
Perfect. Okay. So specifically on the DNN platform, you mentioned about themes, you mentioned about some modules. Which module, I would say, or which theme are you the most excited about, the proudest to talk about? I mean, which one can you really pinpoint and highlight that for us?
Well, being in the DNN world for about 10 years and the way it constantly, the landscape changes, I can't really show you the stuff we did like 3-4 years ago when I was very proud of, because they sort of, it wasn't exactly possible to keep them up to date. Things moved on. So right now we only have a handful at the DNN store. I should be really doing a lot more. Some of them I think they're pretty cool stuff, but I just haven't had the time to market them properly and push them on. The other thing is, on the skin side, I think there are some very good developers out there now that it's probably not wise to try and compete with them because they do a pretty good job. So we tend to mostly build bespoke stuff. So I know it's a lot of people, what they do, they build something bespoke and they also put it on the store, but we don't do that. Normally whatever we build bespoke is just for that client, so they don't want to see it moved into public store. So yes, I mean, I can show you a couple of things that I think that it's definitely worth mentioning them because there are some cool ideas in them, and also I can tell you a little bit about what we're planning to build. So
we're gonna get there. Okay, we're gonna get there shortly. Let me ask you this, just out of curiosity, how did a physics PHP got involved with DNN?
PHP?
Sorry, a physics PhD.
Oh, all right, I beg your pardon. Yeah, I mean, okay, I mean, that was a very long time ago, but basically, in UK at least, doing physics academic stuff is not very well paid. So it did have to move on. So basically I moved into software initially. So I purely just did software. But then, my other abilities that was more to do with project management came in, and I could basically do a lot more as project manager than I could do just writing the code. Also, giving direction to a team is basically what I'm good at. I'm really not good at sitting in a dark room just writing code. I realized that a long time ago.
Got it. Okay, and I see on your profile, and I don't know exactly what that entails and what that really means, but I see that you were part of the core DNN team at some point in time. What does that mean?
Oh, okay. Basically, a very long time ago when, I don't know, it was like DNN1 or maybe DNN2, I think. Yeah, when DNN2 came about, Sean basically decided to have a core team from around the world, people that contributed quite a lot into building the platform. And he basically approached everyone and said, join this team. And I was one of the ones that did, one of the early ones. And basically, until about maybe 2009, something like that, I was a core team member contributing in the open source environment. But as things moved and the entity became more commercial, obviously the activity as a core team member was reduced. And also my capability, in the way that I could, contribute before had changed as well. I don't really think the DNN ecosystem really needs another project manager.
Okay, good. So yeah, I wanted to understand that a little bit better. But let me ask you that. So in terms of DNN, again, I see that your organization there, you do way beyond and above DNN. But if I ask you what you guys are involved right now in terms of DNN, what are you guys doing in terms of DNN right now? If I ask you your team, if we call them right now on the phone, guys, what are you doing with DNN right now? What is it?
It's still probably 50% of my business. 50% of my business in Salar or IT world is building solutions for clients using DNN, because we are, the team is basically understands DNN inside out. I've got C# coders, VB coders, and it's a platform that we trust, and it's a platform that we've used for so many years successfully. Paid the living of nearly 12 developers in India, so that's the platform of choice. It's not because I haven't tried others. For example, in a PHP world, I definitely have gone and played with WordPress for a little while. We even developed some sites for clients for WordPress because they asked for it. But I'm just not comfortable in that PHP environment because, being in Microsoft, it means that at least there's one headache less. The server and the good old Microsoft takes care of updates for you. While, if you have a server in PHP and Linux, oh gosh, I get these emails, you got to do this to it, and I'm like, oh, I've got to employ a new person who just understands what that means. So that's the main reason we went into PHP environment, but we walked out of it, and I'm happy that I did.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. So, Salar, I want to open up this segment of our conversation. If you want to either demonstrate or showcase a use of one of your modules or themes, whatever you want to show to the audience, go for it.
Okay. Probably I won't go and talk about some of the, this is, all right, this is some of this. If you go to DNN store and you search for Solaro, some of our modules and skins comes up, but probably the one that has done really well is the free one we offer. There's a free skin, which is...
Why did you offer for free?
Why do we offer it for free? I don't know. I mean, I always thought that, it's an open source community marketplace, and I just feel responsible to also at least give a couple of things free. So I asked my team to create a Bootstrap 3.3 skin that does the work, does it well, and offer it for free. So we put it up, and I was surprised that how many every day it seems to. I know you still call it sales, but it's not sales because it's zero money. But I think probably about 500-600 people have downloaded it and used it in the last year. We still got some of our older modules still there. The mobile redirect. Some of our skins are still there. And the one I wanted to slightly touch on is a new one we put up. This is the survey module, and I really like it as an example. This is more trying to do something that out of the box, more for new social media platform. And it's a survey module that you can also use it as a quiz. I'll give you an example. This is one. Basically, you can design the module, the questions, and everything exactly how you want. So it's this particular one starts off with, you just ask for your name, and then starts and then goes through a number of questions, whatever question you want to design. So you let's say in a typical quiz you ask 10 questions. It's the question has asks for some form of voting methods. So answer 1 out of 5 or 2 out of 5 and so on. And then what's good about it is that at the end it works out what you've done and builds up a profile based on the questions that were asked. And this quiz module could be used in a variety of scenarios. Some people use it in, especially we have a couple of customers which have used it in the medical world because they wanted to ask questions about how the behavior of certain medicine that they prescribed, and they basically created their own set of questions, results, and then used the results to put together a database of what the public, what the users actually thought about this particular medicine, and then used it internally for the data analysis. So it's got it's multitude of applications based on how you want to design your quiz or your questionnaire or your survey. And then as we were thinking about it, we thought, oh, wouldn't it be good be able to use it like some other people use their quiz on social platform like Facebook. So it's pretty easy because all you need to do really is to go to go to your quiz. For example, let's say, I don't know, did this one for DNM platform. All you need to do is to copy the URL and drop it here, and here it comes. It comes as like a post. Picks up the picture, what you need to say, and then when it gets posted, it shows like a professionally done quiz in Facebook. So it's a really good tool if you have quizzes and so on, and you want to use social media to ask your audience what they think of whatever. Go ahead.
Can I ask a question? About the survey module, do you give right or wrong options as well? I mean, is there that aspect as well?
Oh yes. It's going to take me a long time to go to the back end and show you, but anyone without any coding knowledge can design their own questions and can design their own sort of way it analyzes the answers. And so, for example, in a typical quiz, it will try and work out, what you think of, I don't know, pizza. Do you like it or not? And then what do you think of some other, let's say, food? And then at the end, work out, if you are, I don't know, different things like if you are smart or if you're not smart, just work out certain attributes on the user based on the answers they gave. And so it's able to calculate, and at the end of quiz, give an answer, this is what you are, or you performed really well, or you performed really bad, depending on what the quiz is about.
That's nice. That's awesome. Actually, I think I have a good use for that module, but we talk about that later.
Good. Okay.
Perfect. So I think that's the Salar. Go ahead.
Yeah, this was just an example I showed you. We've done quite a few other modules that are kind of stereotyped, useful to use, but they're not groundbreaking, so I'm not going to spend too much time on them. The other, basically our main USP at Soloro team is the fact that we build solutions for really the DNN world that wants to also go out and do things in the other platforms like mobile, iOS or Android, and bring in those things into the DNN world. For example, we did for a customer, we did a very good communication tool module between iOS and Android and DNN. So it basically sends alert out from a DNN into iOS or into Android. So this ability to build solutions between the two platforms is what we really like to do. We don't do enough because there's only there's very few of us, but it's something that I definitely want to push in the future.
Perfect. So so as a segue to your modules and your themes and your your products there on the DNN store, I would like to ask, does your team still support the modules, still support the themes if clients have questions? Do they support those questions, and what is the most appropriate way to request support for your products?
If the module is in DNN store, then we just use the DNN store method of ticketing. So the questions comes to us, my team answers it. I normally stay out of it, let them do it. They do a good job in answering the questions and fixing it if it's needed. But as I said, maybe about 5-6 years ago, we had maybe 30 or 40 skins and plenty of modules. So the whole the team's task was mostly tailored towards solving issues. But we don't have that many modules now, so we don't have that many questions posed to us. So life is a lot easier now.
Good. Okay. Okay, but it's great to know that your team still support the modules, and again, if they are there for sales, to be sold, it's because there's a team behind them. So, and that's the message I want to to highlight, is that there is a team behind them, and you can still support them. I would like to talk a little bit about the future here. What do you see yourself and your team doing next with DNN, maybe with mobile integration? I mean, what do you guys see as happening next for you in terms of DNN?
Our focus for the past 2 years has been mainly supporting We have a number of clients which have been with us for maybe about 7-8 years, and they're usually North American. They're usually marketing companies themselves that sell DNN solution out, and they use my team as a team that can build modules for them, build schemes for them. So probably, in terms of monetization, majority of our income comes from this selected number of old customers, because there are large organizations that at any one time they have they're selling at least 3 or 4 sites, maybe 6 or 7 sites per month. And out of these 6 or 7 that get sold, at least a couple of them are bespoke, and we do the work for them. And while we're doing that, we naturally rely on the DNN store to pick certain module to missing the gap, and then deliver a fully customized site to their clients. So that process still goes on, and my team is pretty good at it now. I hardly get involved. Everything goes through Basecamp project management system, and the whole team sees the questions, the whole team answers it, and I'm hands off, which is very nice. It allows me to focus on doing some cooler stuff or get new business, and that's my job really. Looking at the future, obviously, I do think that the user pattern, the user way of dealing with web is constantly changing. The landscape changes every 6 months, when it did once a year. It is difficult to keep up with everything new, but I still do think that the mobile apps and integrating the web, the backend database with the mobile apps is probably one of the hottest things that people ask us. The larger customers are constantly asking us, I don't know, they run things in Active Directory, and they need they have a problem with this app they've just built because it's not single sign-on, and can we fix the problems for them? So it's that scenario that DNN can come into their organizations, because they're already on Microsoft platform, they've got Active Directory, so DNN can come in and fix an issue for them between their mobile apps, salespeople on mobile app, and their internal systems. So that's the kind of thing which I think going forward in terms of monetization is going to be pretty strong. At the same time, probably all the smaller sites that somebody just needs a website and can you do it? Okay, we do it in DNN, and here's the scheme. Start putting content in. That still is there, but I think it's less and less.
Okay, so let's do a little bit of some wishful thinking here. So, what would you like to see next happening in the DNN ecosystem with the DNN platform? I mean, do you have anything that, man, it would be great if this and that happens, or if we go this direction or that direction? Do you have any wishful thinking in terms of DNN at this point?
Well, I'm going to be really boring and say no, because if you asked me this question maybe 2 years ago, I had a long list of issues we were having, and this needs to be done, that needs to be done. But somehow at the moment, we don't have any issues to fix. The platform works. We pick something out of the box, it works, we can enhance it. It's happy work. My problem is that when people say, okay, we're going to change the backend, the core of DNN to something new, and that worries me because I'm thinking, how much things is going to break. But I think the core team, the current decision makers are pretty wise and they know what not to do. So everything is happy at the moment.
Perfect. It's good to see a good happy member of the community. Anyway, I want to finalize by asking you, Salar, if there's anything that you still want to mention, anything that I haven't talked about, anything else that you want to say as your final words here as we close this interview.
Probably. I mean, the last time I went to a conference, this was in France, DNN Connect. It was great because, a lot of people like me that have kind of moved out of coding, they're in the real world, they're selling, they're project managing. We kind of don't have that much time anymore to be involved like I was maybe 6-7 years ago. I need not long emails, not long articles, not long blogs because I haven't got time to read them. I need to go to events and spend a day and sort of get charged up, understand everything. Yes, everything's going well. That sort of environment is getting less and less. I mean, in Europe, we're lucky we're doing it once a year, but even if it happened in the US once a year in a different time, so even if I couldn't go there, but at least I would hear all the news. Someone from here has gone there and comes back, and I can ask them, what happened, what's the news, anything to worry about, and then they can just make me feel relaxed that everything's hunky-dory. That's all really.
Perfect. Okay, so Salar, again, thank you very much for accepting this interview. I really appreciate that. And again, you have been a long-lasting member of the DNN community. I thank you for that, and thank you for your time here.
Pleasure. It was great to be with you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye.